Politics and leadership. If you look around, almost all the countries in the world are led by politicians. The people who preside over those countries, whether it be called presidents, prime ministers, or whatever it is, they are politicians. Then the question that I ask myself is, if the highest office in the land is a political office, does it then mean politicians are the most suitable people to lead a country? Is leading a country the most complex leadership position that is available? And if it is true, why then do we find leaders from the political spectrum to lead? Why not assign the best man for the job? And the best man for the job might not be a politician, and he might not have to take some political decisions. But if you put a politician, he's apt to take some political decisions. I'm reminded of the genesis of politicians and kings in the tribe of Israel. When the people of Israel saw what the other nations around them were doing with the advent of kingship and political leadership, they went and said to Samuel, who was then appointed by God, ordained by God to lead the people. They say, but we see that you are growing old and your sons are not walking according to thy ways. Please appoint a king to preside over us like the other nations. And that act was not good in the eyes of Samuel. When Samuel was wroth with anger, God says, no, they have not rejected you. They have rejected me because I wanted to lead them through you. I wanted to lead my people through prophets, but people wanted to be led by kings. So, all the nations, it shows that they've always wanted politicians to lead them. Was that in the best interest of Israel to be led by a king? No. It turned out their first king and political ruler, that was Saul, he was ill equipped for the task at hand. He did not have the wisdom to lead his people in a just and fair way. He did not have the faculty to preside over such a big nation, Israel. But now the world, oh, let, let, let me just invent something here. Let me just invent something here. Let's assume the then Israelites were just about a million. But we see today that our countries, most of the countries, they're actually bigger than that. Some of them, probable, they go as far as 250 million. But now it shows that these political leaders are ill equipped to lead the people, but the people want the politicians to lead them. Back in the day, people, when they speak of political leaders, they speak of the Thomas Sankara, they speak of Kwame Nkrumah, they might even speak of Chief Albert Lutuli, they might speak of King Shaka. Right? So there might be some good things that those people did in the betterment of the lives of the people of their time. But I think the fundamental mistake that everybody is suddenly making is to assume that because there was a politician who once led his country or his society well, then the best leaders are surely going to come from the political spectrum. Then we should bestow leadership upon the politicians. In my own thinking, this is a flawed assertion that politicians are the most suitable people to lead. They were never suitable back then. Yes, we've had some pockets of excellence here and there, but by and large, politicians, they are the worst of the bunch. Politics is a career. And if you look around the people, if you look around the people who turn up to be politicians, most of them, they've obviously struggled to find a decent job in the corporate sphere, or they have struggled to invent or to come up with an idea that they can send to the market. They have struggled to come up with a sellable idea. But the same people that have struggled to come up with a sellable idea, we want them to sell the prospects of the country. We want them to champion the development of the country. When they have failed to compete on an equal footing with the rest of the people for the opportunities that avail themselves, they have failed to identify the things that could be needed to solve problems that humanity is facing. But instead, they decided to go and secure a political office that will preside over the governance of the things that have been thought by other people. Why would you trust such a man? Personally, I would trust a man who has conceptualized an idea and come up with a solution to solve human problems. And that man would not want that idea to die. He knows that his idea does not exist in an island. His idea exists in an ecosystem. And that ecosystem needs to be nourished. That's a man that I would say, maybe you are suitable to lead us. But a man, he himself, has failed to come up with an idea, but wants to police other people's ideas. So I want you to ask yourself, why then do mankind give politicians the power that they currently enjoy to preside on such important matters that they are ill equipped to preside over?